morning. Today is Monday, July 20th. Welcome to our COVID update. You will notice that we have a couple of new guests with us this morning. We're going to change the format and welcome Superintendent Bill Burkhead, our new superintendent from Scituate Schools, and Chairman of the School Committee, Peter Gates. They will be joining us and giving us an update following Jim's update about their COVID planning and how they're preparing for school opening. Before we get to Jim, I'm just going to talk a little bit about this weekend. I want to say thank you to Deputy Chief Al Elliott for putting together the cooling station. And for those residents that do not know, there is a cooling station down at the Harbor Community Building. It is open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., so if you don't have air conditioning, please feel free to go down there and cool off. Masks are required, as well as social distancing. You know, we do expect folks to keep 6 feet apart. So I want to thank Al for that. Hopefully some residents went down and took advantage of that. It was a very hot weekend. The beaches were very busy, and I hope that everybody is staying safe and keeping their masks on. And with that, I'm just going to toss it over to Jim so he can give us an update on the latest COVID report.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning. For COVID, we've had 2 cases since last week. The week before that, we had 6, so that's down significantly. Again, one of those cases was a person who traveled from out of state from a COVID hotspot, so we're seeing a lot of our recent positive cases have been people who've been traveling. So we want to remind people, just because where you're going might not have guidelines, you should still follow them with your masks and your hand washing and your social distancing. We do expect to see some uptick in cases around this time. The 4th of July was a very busy time in Scituate, so this would be about the time when we'd see those cases. But down, statewide, it is still down about 1.6% for total. Scituate last week was about 2.3%, so a little higher, but that number goes up and down. But we are seeing that masks, social distancing, and hand washing are working, so please keep it up. Remind people we are in phase 2 of our water restrictions. That's a total ban on all non-essential outdoor watering. No lawns, no car washing, no filling of pools, handhelds for gardens, flowers, and plants only before 9 and after 5. Since we put the ban in, we've gone from over 2.2 million gallons a day to just over 1.8 million gallons a day, so we're saving about 400,000 gallons a day by having the water ban. That's a significant amount of money. We ask you to keep it up. With the hot weather, it's pretty easy for us to tell who's been watering their lawn and who's not. We are no longer giving out warnings. We are giving out fines at this point for people who are found in violation. Remind people the town hall is open to the public, regular hours, except we close at 6 o'clock on Tuesday night. Face masks are required. We have hand sanitizers. Meetings will continue to be done remotely as the restrictions on gatherings remain in place. And we ask if you can do things remotely, you continue to do things remotely. The library is doing curbside pickup 6 days a week, hours 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 4. In addition, patrons can borrow the Library of Things objects, book museum passes, and print documents remotely. Go to ScituateTownLibrary.org. We're making a couple of changes to the building. We'll be meeting this week, and we hope to have the library at least open for limited hours in the not-too-distant future. Brown water, this is our brown water time. We've seen some posts on Facebook about people experiencing brown water. Please report them to the water department. It does 2 things. It gives us a data point for our system, but we will also send someone out to your house to check on what might the problem be, and maybe there's something we can do to fix it. We had some complaints about Wheeler Park. We flushed that, and those complaints have gone away. So Scituate, brown water at ScituateMA.gov or 781-545-8735. Posting on Facebook is fine, but we need you to contact us to get the data points, and then we can come out and see what's going on. 2 more things. Musquashkett berm work is scheduled to begin in the next week or so. That is to bring the berm back to its original height. We estimate about 16 truckloads of stone a day will be going down Surfside. We've mailed the Surfside residents to make them aware of it, but people just need to be aware and be careful. Also, Bailey's Causeway Culvert and Gilson Road Culvert will be starting late July, early August.
Oh, good.
Bailey's Causeway is scheduled to go first. We are trying to flip that with Gilson because of the beach season, but it's really dependent upon the gas company whether we can do that or not. But that work will be starting, and when it is, Bailey's Causeway or Gilson will be closed where those culverts are replaced. Finally, just one more reminder, because I'm kind of nerdy about these things. You can still see the Neowise comet this week. It's visible to the naked eye after about 10 o'clock. Look for the Big Dipper. Go below it and to the right. If you miss it this time, you will be able to see it when it comes back in 6,800 years. So that's where we are for this week. And again, reminding people these are going to be weekly now instead of twice a week.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Peter, did you want to
Sure,
lead off?
sure. For those that don't know me, my name is Peter Gates. I am the new chairman of the Scituate School Committee. Since we had an abrupt close to school in mid-March, an abrupt ending, we felt it was important to get out to the community the plans for the school district for the upcoming school year. Thank you to Jim and the selectmen for allowing us to join them on their weekly meetings. We're hoping to do this every week until school begins or even into the further future. Couple of things. The school committee has been very busy since February. We've hired significant leaders in our district. Most important here is our new superintendent, Bill Burkhead. We've also hired a new special ed director. We will have just hired a new business and finance director. We've also hired a high school principal and a Wampatuck principal. So we've been very busy the last several months. Those are significant positions in our district. And with all that's COVID, we thought it was appropriate to update the community on how we're proceeding. So with that being said, I'd like to hand it over to our new superintendent, Mr. Bill Burkhead.
Thank you, Chairman Gates, and it's an honor and privilege to be here and to be Scituate's new superintendent. So I want to thank all those who have welcomed me very warmly, and the town has the reputation that preceded it, which is warm, welcoming, and passionate about education. I'd also like to thank Town Administrator Boudreau and the Select Board for allowing us to collaborate on these weekly briefings. Communication is extremely important, especially during these very trying times, and information is fluid and flexible, so we want to be able to reach out each week. And I also want to thank the school committee also for collectively coming up with this idea to reach out to the community in as many ways possible, and I'll be sharing with those some of those things we're doing today. So a little background and context. On July 9th, the Commissioner of Education, Jeff Riley, announced that each district in the state would have to be required to have a reopening plan that would abide by the health and safety requirements outlined by the state. And most recently, the dates were updated. A preliminary plan is due July 31st, and a follow-up and final plan will be due August 10th. These plans are to include 3 models of learning. The first one is face-to-face, and this is the model all students returning in person to school settings that are appropriately modified to accommodate the health and safety requirements outlined by the Department of Education. The second model is a hybrid model. This model means that students would alternate between in-person and remote learning. For instance, students could switch between in-person and remote learning on alternate weeks or days of the week, or an AM and PM model. And the final model is the remote model. This model must be available for individual students who cannot yet return in person, and or for all students in the event of a future closures due to COVID-19. So now I'd like to share a little bit of what we've been very busy these last few weeks in preparation for developing these few new plans, and for also getting the community actively involved and having a voice in the decisions. So we've established a 60-plus member Safe and Strong reopening task force, which met last week for the first time. And initially was scheduled to meet bi-weekly. We'll now meet weekly and then maybe more often because of the aggressive timeline set by the state. Our next meeting is tomorrow evening, and this group is representative of pretty much everybody in town. We will be posting that list of members on our website and blog, and make sure that you have access to that so you know who to reach out to if you feel more comfortable with going to members of that task force. In coordination with the task force, we've also developed a steering committee, which is a smaller group of educational leaders within the schools that meet daily, pretty much. And we'll coordinate with the larger task force to work on our plans and work on practical implications. Next, I'd like to talk about feedback and voice. As this school is a community service, and we would like to get everybody's input before making final plans, and we've been already working on that. The first opportunity we have is surveys that went out to students, staff, and parents separately, and those data have been coming back in. I want to thank the students, the parents and caregivers, and the staff. The numbers, I was just talking to Chairman Gates, are unbelievable. We have close to 1,000 parents already responding in 24 hours, and 600 students, and in the staff, pretty much the majority of the staff. So those numbers will help us and will be given to the task force and steering committee to help make our decisions. So thank you. Other opportunities for feedback and voice. I will personally be meeting in a series of forums via Zoom to listen to ideas, concerns, and answer questions. And those will begin as early as today. I'll be meeting with the staff this afternoon. All the educators and staff in the district are welcome to participate. And then this evening, I'll be offering that same community forum to the parents and caregivers of our students. Wednesday, I'll be meeting with the students, and next week, I'll have a date for the community to have an opportunity to provide feedback, questions, and ideas. We'll take, again, that information, we'll share it with our task force and steering committee, and again, along with the surveys and other feedback, this will allow us to make good, strong decisions based on community and feedback. Next, we have these weekly cable updates that will be starting today and continuing each week. And then this Thursday, we started our first Thursday Thoughts digital newsletter, which will go out each Thursday from my desk and will include all the things going on in the educational world of the Scituate Public Schools. The priority this past week was the reopening information there. So our goal is to get that into as many households as possible. So we'll be providing an opportunity for community members to get on that email list, and we'll be sending that out each Thursday. We'll also be posting that on a one-stop shop blog via our website that I'll be explaining shortly. We're trying to get one place, and we're in the works of that, so where you can go online via our website and have one place to go to get all the information. So to keep it very simple for everybody. Also, there's a good way to get information is school committee meetings. We had our biggest turnout, I believe, in years with over 68 attendees, and over 1 hour, I would think, public forum, public comment section in which the school committee and I were able to, and other educators were able to answer as many questions as we could. We think that's a nice venue to participate. And in the next meeting is Monday, July 27th at 6 p.m. I encourage everybody to attend those either via Zoom or by phone. And then also we have an email hotline, and the email address is 2020reopen@cit.org. And that's an opportunity for you as community members to send questions, concerns, ideas via email. We collect that information, also gets distributed to our committees to allow us to make good decisions. And finally, the information for our one-stop shop, we're in the process of creating a blog. It will be 100% reopening schools information. The way you find that is if you go to our website at scituate.k12.ma.us, and in big bold letters across the top it'll say reopening schools. You click on that tab, it'll take you right to the blog, and there will be all the information. It's under construction, just started this weekend, so there's some important information on there, including Thursday Thoughts newsletter, but there'll be more information including commissioners' updates, the notes, and members of the task force and steering committee, and all other information, survey results, and feedback from the community. So that's all I have for now. Also, please access or contact the superintendent's office if you have any questions directly of me. I'd be happy to respond. I try to get back to everybody within 24 hours. And I'd like to finally thank all the hard work of our educators, our principals, central office team, task force volunteers, school committee, and parents and guardians and community members for all their thoughtful feedback and ideas. We've been really learning a lot, and we're coming together as a community to make this very important decision, and we will do so with the safety of our children and educators in the best interest. So thank you for the opportunity today.
Great, well, welcome. You certainly started at a difficult time, just like Jim did when he started in Scituate. So a fast and furious introduction into our community, and I know the parents will really welcome your openness and your outreach. It sounds like you're off to a great start, and it's a difficult time, and anything that we can do, our Board of Health can do to help you with planning, please know that Jim and his resources are here, as well as the rest of the board, to support you. So welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim, is there anything else that you?
Nope. As you said, we're here to help the superintendent, whatever he needs to get ready to open. We've already met a couple of times, and we'll continue to meet, and whatever we can do on our side to give him the resources and stuff he needs to get open remotely, we're ready to work with him to get that done. So,
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Anything else?
No, just as Superintendent mentioned, our next school committee meeting is Monday, July 27th, which is next Monday at 6 p.m., and it is being held via Zoom. But we will expect to be here next Monday with the Monday morning update prior to then.
Great. Well, thank you again for joining us, and thank you, everyone. And please remember to stay cool and that the Community Harbor Building is open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Thanks so much, and stay safe.